Hey, Cubs take 2 of 3 from the Rangers. Games that are coming up, PCA talks, and a check in with King Tuck. Like, subscribe, comment. Brad Savage, Cubs Ivy. Let's talk about Cubs. All right, so once again, the Cubs fall short on a sweep, but man, we'll take 2 wins out of 3 and a series win against the Texas Rangers any day. Game 1 was Monday. Cubs won 7-0. Man, Steele looked like Steele. Seven innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. Definitely gave the Cubs a very good shot. And I think the highlight. This was my favorite game of this series. Actually, Steele looked back in form. Wasn't perfect, but man, the stat line, like I said, 3 hits, 2 walks, 8 Ks. Maybe argues a little different, but definitely gave the Cubs a chance to win. And in a freezing cold night, we played small ball. We put the pressure on the Rangers, and we had 5 steals that night. Birdie had 2, PCA had 1, Suzuki and Hap all had a steal. And just put the pressures on the bases, moved runners around, put the pressures on the defense, and scored some runs. 7-0. Clean sheets, always nice for the defense and pitching staff. Cubs took game 1 pretty handily. And then Tuesday comes, Cubs again won 10-6. A little bit rockier game, but never going to complain about a win, ever. I think Cubs had 12 hits that game. And in the 5th inning, Cubs were up 6-3. And looked like we were going to kind of start cruising towards the rest of the game. Then, let's see, Merriweather came in, and between Merriweather and Hodge in the 7th and 8th inning, the Rangers tied it up 6-6. And in the bottom of the 8th, between the Cubs putting pressure on the Texas defense kind of falling apart, and the Cubs coming up with some nice key hits. Cubs put up 4 runs and to win 10-6. So game 2 was us. Jameson Taillon gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. I mean, from a starting pitcher, I'd take that all day long. I don't think he was perfect, but 3 runs in 6 innings, I think gives the Cubs, in most cases, a chance to win most games. So then we move on to Wednesday. Late Tuesday, I think, or Wednesday morning, the Cubs announced that Steele would be on the 15-day IL, and with that elbow tendonitis, you know, frustrating as it is. I already said it. I made another quick video about it, but frustrating as it is, you know, better the early in the season, and so he can get healthy and kind of help us down the long stretch. I think if it had to happen, it's better now. We do have some well-timed off days. Tomorrow, Thursday of this week, so today when this video is being published, is an off day, and then we have I think 4 more over the next 3 weeks. So that gives not only Steele time to heal, but our pitching staff maybe an opportunity to kind of pick up the slack. We do have our top 4 starters, and we can either bring in someone else to spot start in a few games, keep a 4-man rotation, and maybe spot start 1 or 2 games before that time frame where Steele may be able to come back. Who knows with that kind of quote injury, but I'm glad they're just gonna shut him down, and hopefully he'll heal up and then be strong for the rest of the year. But we'll see what the Cubs do. I fully expect them to take a pitcher that's already on the staff and maybe hope he can start and get him 3-4 innings, maybe 5 at the max, and then have a bullpen day basically. But we'll see what they do. I'm sure they'll announce it in the next couple days what the plan is for. I think it'd be next Tuesday or so. But game 3 was Wednesday. Cubs lost 6-2. Got a kind of scrappy run in the very end, 6-1 most of the time. And this is I would have bet if I bet a lot. Try not to bet with my heart, on the Cubs, so I kind of stay away from it. But if I was a betting man, Imanaga on our third game, trying to close out a sweep. I wouldn't call it guaranteed, but that he was definitely outmatched and outpitched today. Imanaga had over 5 innings. He gave up 7 hits and 5 runs. 3 of those were home runs. So 3 of those 7 hits were home runs. 2 to Seager and one to I think he says Heim, which was a which was kind of like a dagger for us. But and Maganaga's ERA jumped from a .98 to a 2.7, which obviously is not too shabby. But you know, when our ace of our staff lets up 5 runs in 5 innings, we don't look to win too many of those games unless the offense is on fire. But offense was kind of halted today. We didn't have too many hits, but not a lot of action on the bases as much as the last 2 games. So you're gonna get some of that all day long. I'll take 2 or 3 in winning a series. You know, you win the majority of series, your record's gonna show in the very end of the season. So all good. Two out of 3. Cubs are now 9-6, top of the Central, and that little bit of space before we go on this next stint. A little bit of space between the other teams before we go on this next road trip, where we've got 3 against the Los Angeles Dodgers and 3 against the San Diego Padres. All out in the West Coast, so all late games. I think majority of them. Our first game is going to be Boyd, who's man, he's just been fantastic the first 2 starts. He changes up. He's keeping hitters off balance, changing up that speed. Love the changeup. He's got 2 starts, 0 ERA, 10 Ks, and I just hope he's able to keep hitting the spots and keep hitters off balance. He made some of those Padres, Tatis Jr., I think once or twice at least, look foolish with that changeup. So hopefully we can do that with the Dodgers. We're running into one of the most potent offenses potentially in the all of MLB, and one of the better pitching staffs too with the Dodgers. So hopefully we can get a little bit of redemption on those 2, awkward losses in Japan. But Dodgers are going to be throwing Yamamoto, who's got 19 Ks and a 1.69 ERA. I'd call him. I don't know if he's their ace, but one of their aces, and it'll be good to face him. Not many Cubs have success against him. I think a couple of Happ and maybe 1 or 2. Happ and Horner both have a hit or 2 off of him, but other than that, our lineup, I don't think anybody's seen him more than 6 times total in their career, 6 at bats total in their career. So it'll be fun. Hoping to never want to hope for certain things, but if we can get out of those series, win one of the series, get Steele a win out of the other, come out of there 500, as a Cubs fan, would be totally ecstatic. That'd put us at what? That's 3-3. What's my math? That's 12-9. Uh, take it all day long. I want to talk about a couple things. Oh, yeah. Let's do a little King Tuck check real quick. Here's Tuck right here. Little King Tuck check. So for this series, King Tuck went 4 for 12 with 3 runs, 2 walks, 1 K, and 1 RBI. So King Tuck continues to produce. Number of RBIs was only 1. So for the number 4 hits, it's kind of surprising for him. But he did score 3 runs, which means he was on base and being able to come across the plate. But 4 hits, 12 at bats. That's a 3.33 batting average. We'll take that from our superstar at any time. So King Tuck, way to go on the Texas Rangers series. Keep up the great work. Hopefully it lasts all year long, my friend. I want to talk about one more thing. I think, in a previous video, I had made a comment and a projection that PCA was a big piece for this year, because there's a lot of players. King Tuck, Hap's always consistent. We expect Swanson, Horner to kind of have their consistent year. PCA is one of those players that I feel like a lot of times in baseball, or maybe other sports, but a lot of times, at least when I've been around in baseball, you hear "we go is you go," and what that means is, hey, how you do in general over a period of time is how typically the team goes. And I was labeling PCA that for this season, and I made a comment that anytime PCA reaches base 2 times in a game, that the Cubs should be scoring 7 or more runs. And kind of just wanted to give a little check on that over the first 15 games. So in 15 games, there have been 8 games where the Cubs have scored 7 or more runs. So 15 games, 8 games where the Cubs have scored 7 or more runs. This is pretty cool. So PCA has reached base, whether it's a hit or a walk. I didn't count reached on errors, but a hit or a walk on 2 or more times on 6 of those games. So 6 of the 8 games, the Cubs have scored 7 or more runs because with PCA's reaching base twice. All right. That leaves 7 games left. So 8 games, the Cubs have scored 7 or plus runs. PCA was on base 2 or more times, 6 of those. So too short. Now the Cubs, the rest of the games, the rest of the 7 games, the Cubs have scored less than 6 runs in those 7 games. And guess how many times PCA was on base? 7 games. Guess how many times he was actually on base? 2, between a hit and a walk. 2 times. So 7 games, PCA was on base 2 times, and they were actually in the same game. And in that game, they scored 1 run. So he's pretty much the only one on base that game. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't prove anything. It's just kind of like kind of a pulse check of my my theory, and I'll keep some of the numbers, and in a couple of weeks, post up another or talk about another kind of update on it. But I do feel like PCA is kind of we go like you go, because we all know he's a terror on the bases, and single's a double, double's a triple, um, triple's an automatic, double's an automatic run, as long as we have an out to play with him on bases. So just kind of fun tips, fun facts. But I always forget, and I'm gonna pause right now because I should have talked about it at the beginning of the video. If you're watching this and you could like, subscribe, or even make a quick comment about anything in the video or information you'd like more of. I love the PCA stats. If you like things like that, happy to do some research and share. But if you take the time to at least click the like button, say hello in the comments, and click a subscribe, there'll be more videos, more conversations, and I look forward to doing some more unique things like the PCA lookups, but and the tuck check-ins every series. But what I plan on doing is continuing on some shorts, maybe some random videos like the news, like Justin Steele, and then a quick summary and some information, maybe some tidbits about the past series that just happened. So the Cubs beating the Rangers 2 of 3, that's big, and then taking 2 of 3 from the Padres, and then sweeping the A's right before that. So it's kind of fun and exciting thinking about what we might be able to do in LA and San Diego. I'll definitely be staying up and watching those games, and really looking forward to seeing that Cubs offense thrive, especially when the ball might be flying a little further than at Wrigley these past 2 freezing series. But Brad Savage, Cubs Ivy, appreciate you watching. Look forward to next time. Go Cubs, go, and fly that W.